My name is Aisha, and I come from a small, dusty village in the heart of Punjab, Pakistan. The kind of place where the mornings begin with the sound of roosters, where girls fetch water in steel pots, and where dreams are often buried under the weight of tradition. From the very beginning, I was told what I could or couldn't do. Not directly, but through the silence in the room when I asked questions, through the way people looked at me when I said I wanted to go to school, and especially when I said I wanted to learn English. Where I come from, girls are not expected to dream big. Most of them get married young, take care of the house, and raise children. Education, especially learning English, was seen as unnecessary, even foolish. "What will you do with English?" they would ask. "Cook in English? Wash clothes in English?" But something inside me refused to stay silent. I didn't have the words to explain it back then, but even as a child, I knew I wanted more. I wanted to understand the world beyond the fields, beyond our mud walls. I wanted to read books, speak with confidence, be respected, not just because I was someone's daughter or sister or wife, but because I was me. I first heard English on a broken radio my father had found at a market. The voice was calm, powerful, clear. I didn't understand what was being said, but I was mesmerized. That day, I made a promise to myself. One day, I will speak like that. I don't care how hard it is, I will. But it was hard. So hard. We had no proper English teacher at our village school. Our textbooks were torn, outdated, and full of mistakes. Teachers, mostly overworked and underpaid, would just make us memorize grammar rules like robots. We never spoke English in class. If we tried, people would laugh. At home, there was no support. My parents were kind but tired. My mother would say, "Beta, you can study after you finish your chores." But the chores never ended. Cooking, sweeping, helping in the fields. By night I was exhausted, but I would still open my notebook and whisper new words to myself. Sky, courage, future. The first time I tried to speak in front of others, I stuttered. My cousins laughed. "Are you trying to be English now?" I ran to the back of our house and cried, not because they laughed, but because I realized how far I had to go. But even while wiping my tears, I kept whispering the same line again and again. I will speak. One day, I will. Slowly, I built my own way of learning. I made flashcards out of old wedding cards. I stuck them on the walls, above the stove, near the mirror, on the inside of my cupboard. I would speak out loud while making roti. "I am cooking. I am strong. I can speak." It sounded silly, but it worked. I walked miles to visit a tiny internet cafe in a nearby town. With my savings, 10 rupees at a time, I watched YouTube videos about pronunciation, daily conversation, even how to introduce myself. I didn't always understand, but I paused, rewound, wrote notes, and practiced in front of a broken mirror. Eventually, I found a free English WhatsApp group. First, I was just a silent observer, reading others' messages, scared to speak. But then one day I recorded a voice note. "My name is Aisha. I want to speak English." My hands were trembling. My heart raced. But the reply I got changed everything. "You're doing great, sister. Keep it up. For the first time, I felt seen, heard, encouraged. The biggest turning point came when I applied for a scholarship for rural girls in Lahore. I still remember the look on my father's face when I told him I had been selected. He didn't say much, but I could tell he was proud. It was the first time I traveled alone. I was terrified of the city, of being judged, of not fitting in. In Lahore, the other girls were confident, fluent, stylish. First, I felt like I didn't belong. But then I thought about everything I had overcome. I reminded myself of the girl who whispered words into the wind while doing dishes, the girl who turned shame into strength. I raised my hand in class. I answered questions. I made mistakes, laughed at myself, and kept trying. And slowly I began to speak. Now I can speak English fluently. I no longer pause to translate in my head. I no longer fear judgment. I give speeches. I help other village girls start their learning journey. And when I speak not just with words, but with pride, with purpose, with the weight of every tear, every long walk, every night spent studying in candlelight. English is not just a language for me. It is my freedom, my voice, my victory. I am Aisha, daughter of a farmer, born in a village where girls were not supposed to dream. But I dreamed anyway. I struggled. I fell. I rose. And now I speak not just in English but from the heart.